And so, Shannon, I go to you. Are the Ravens the most dangerous team in the NFL at this point?
Well, I think it's between them and the Lions. I would probably give the Ravens a slight lead since the age 8 Hutchinson is down, because he's the guy, he's the best player on defense, and he's the guy that could consistently generate pressure, attack your quarterback. He's very disruptive in the run game, but I would give a slight nod to the Ravens.
I have to go with the Detroit Lions to answer to this question, because what I'm seeing from Lamar Jackson is phenomenal. What I'm seeing from Derrick Henry is phenomenal, but it still doesn't eclipse what we're seeing from the Detroit Lions. You don't have one, but two running backs. The only team in the NFL.
The Lions, those are one of the two best teams in football, and I'm not so sure they're two.
And we're still being disrespected. We're still being doubted. The only 5-0 undefeated AFC team without all our weapons, without playing our best football, and they still can't beat us, yet they still want to doubt the Chiefs. We're going to get into that. We're going to have an in-depth discussion about how Isaiah Pacheco, when he comes back, and Kareem Hunt, going to be the most dangerous running back duo in the league. We're going to take a look at the AFC conference as it stands right now as a whole. And we're going to get into a couple of the games across the NFL, some 50 burgers. We'll talk about that and much more. Hit the music.
Murder, 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 most foul. Welcome to Most Foul TV. This is Most Foul TV with your host, Dante Petty.
What's going on, guys? Most Foul Chief Don Pena here, and I just wanted to cut this quick clip to remind you, if you like what I do, if I make you laugh in any way, if you're enjoying the content, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit the bell notification, comment down below. All your support helps. It's much appreciated. It'll help the channel grow. It'll help me put out more content for you. I'll see you on the next one. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Most Foul TV. I'm your host, Don Pena, and this is Most Foul Chief. All right, let's get right into today's video. Going to be probably a bit of a shorter video. As we all know, it is the bye week. Your Chiefs, after 5 weeks, are still undefeated. A lot of teams lost this weekend. You know what team didn't lose? Your Kansas City Chiefs. And you know why? Because we're sitting at home on a bye week, kicking up our feet, just relaxing, getting healed up, getting ready for the shitty San Francisco 49ers to come to KC. I believe they're going to Arrowhead. But we'll get into that a little. Maybe we'll get into it at the end. I don't know. I know we talked about it the last video. I might touch on it a little bit more. But let's get right into the top of the video there that the intro that you all just saw. And our first discussion, which is the disrespect of your two-time, back-to-back, soon-to-be three-peat champions. And just the outright disrespect, just doubtful shit-talking is what it is. I was trying to think of other words, but I can't. It's just shit, just talking shit, okay? And I get it. Then the sports media gets tired of just saying the obvious. The Kansas City Chiefs are the best team in football. They fucking know it. They know it. But they need to put a show together, right? They need to have ratings other than the Chiefs, because it's like if they stated the obvious, the show would be over in like 2 minutes. Oh, what the hell is going on here? Damn it, I need that entrance, you bastards. Sorry, I'm trying to catch the freeway, and these idiot cops, highway patrol, and this other jackass has the goddamn freeway closed. Idiots. All right, give me a second here. Let me refocus. Bunch of jackasses. Where can I go? All right, either way, like I said, sometimes it's hard because I'm trying to do the videos, and then I have to try to, I'm working at the same time, and when I get distracted like that, I have to refocus my mind to what we were talking about. Sorry, guys. All right, let's get back into it. Yeah, it's just fucking annoying. It's the shit talking as if the Kansas City Chiefs aren't undefeated. As if we're not 5-0. The only AFC team that remains to be that. And the kicker to all of it is everybody saying, we're not playing our best. And we're not. We're not firing on all cylinders. We're not, playing with our original starting offense. We're testing things out. We had obviously a lot of major injuries to like our key players on offense. We're not playing with our number one wide receiver, our number two wide receiver, our number one running back, our number two running back. And we're still whooping your ass. We're still winning. We're still undefeated while making adjustments. So you explain to me how teams that are supposed to be better than the Chiefs have losses on their record and they have more pieces. They have most, if not all, of their weapons at their disposal, and they got losses on their record, yet the Chiefs do not. And I know what you're going to say. I know, or at least I know what the other fan bases are going to say. Oh, well, it's early in the season, Don. Like they're going to, teams are figuring their identities out. They're figuring themselves out. Blah, blah. Hello? So are the fucking Chiefs. But guess what? That's why we're better than your ass. Because we're figuring our shit out while still whipping your ass and staying undefeated. That's how good the Chiefs are. They can figure out what to do and adjust on the fly and still not lose. Now, I'm not saying we're not going to drop a game here or there at some point in the season. And I'm thinking most likely, like, they may slip on a banana peel at some point. There may be a trap game in this season somewhere. So that might be one loss. And I say the other loss is going to be week 17 when they've already have the AFC number one seed locked up and they sit all the starters. What's also a possibility is if the rest of the AFC kind of sucks ass and that number one seed is locked in by 2 games, they might sit the starters by week 16, or by week 50, the end of week 15. So week 16 and 17, they don't even play. Mahomes doesn't play. Kelsey doesn't play. So you might have 2 losses right there. I don't know, but we'll see. But right now, we're not playing our best. We're not at our full strength, and we've beaten some of the best teams in football. And you want to brag about the Ravens or the fucking Lions beating the Cowboys? Get the fuck out of here. The Cowboys suck, okay? The Cowboys last year couldn't beat a team with a winning record. Every single time they played any team with any kind of semblance of competition, they got their ass handed to them. Like, I don't give a shit that the Lions beat them 49 to fucking 9. And we'll get into that later. I don't get too far off track here, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But I don't give a shit. Like, I'm not impressed. That team fucking sucks. All the Lions did was the same shit that other teams did, is run up a score on a shitty team. Not impressed, bro. Not impressed. But I'll talk about that later. Put a pin on that. We'll come back to that. So, getting back to our Chiefs. It's, again, one of those things, just like last year. The Dolphins put up 70 points against the Broncos. Yeah, how'd that work out for you the rest of the season? Congratulations. You put up 70 points on a shitty team. No one cares. You weren't shit when it counted. The Chiefs don't have to make statements like that. The Chiefs don't have to try to sit there, shut up, stupid thing, and have these blowout games to prove that they belong, because we just win. So, and you know what? I was going to touch on this later, but I'm already on this rant, so let's continue with it. The Detroit Lions versus your Dallas Cowboys, 49 to 4. Sorry, Yeah, was it 47, 49 to 9? Congratulations, I'm not impressed. Big deal. Big whoop. I don't care, bro. The Lions, hey, I give you credit. The Lions, they do deserve respect. They've come a long way. They're actually not a laughing stock anymore. They're putting up a fight. I refuse at this point to call them contenders. They're not necessarily pretenders. They'll win a playoff game, maybe two. You're not the best NFC team. You could get bumped out by the Niners like you did last year, or even the Eagles. If the Eagles get their shit together, they could easily beat the fucking Lions. So I'm sorry, I'm not impressed that you like beat the living crap out of a crappy, shitty wannabe Cowboys team. Who hasn't, bro? Who hasn't? So not impressed. What was the other big score, right? The other big score was it the Ravens? Let you know what? Put a pin. Let's hold that. Let me take a look. I think it was the Ravens, and I forget what team they played. And I believe their score was 51. Well, let me take a look. Hang on. My bad. The Ravens played the Commanders. They barely put up 30 points. No, it was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield beating the absolute dog shit out of the Saints. Damn. It was 51-27. You know. Now, again, I'm not going to talk as much shit to them as I did against the Lions to the fucking shitty Cowboys, because the Saints are a good team. However, they played a Saints team without Derek Carr. So, once again, maybe I will talk shit then. Congratulations. You beat a Saints team with a backup quarterback who sucks ass. Not impressed. Now, going back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, though, I do give them credit. They have been playing some good football throughout the season. Baker Mayfield looks the best he's ever looked and the most comfortable in any team he's played for. So they look like they're a pretty good team. I have more faith in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers than I do the Detroit Lions. They just seem more consistent. However, I do think that at the end of the day, they're both the same type of team. They're going to get to the playoffs, maybe win a playoff game, and then lose the second one, or maybe even win two, losing the fucking NFC Championship. But you're not that team, bro. You're not. I'm sorry. Even the Vikings ain't that team, and I know they're undefeated, but they're undefeated with Sam Darnold. I mean, we'll take a look at their schedule in a minute. I'll get to the Vikings because I didn't want to touch on them too. But again, congratulations to your 51 points, your 49 points. You guys beat shitty teams. Okay, I'm not impressed. I'm sorry. Again, I'm not saying don't score. Okay, like sometimes you got to do what you got to do. If the other team isn't playing, like you're not supposed to just like say, okay, we're not going to fucking keep scoring. But at the end of the day, too, like once you're up by that many points, like 30-0, whatever, just run the fucking ball, run the clock out, long drives. If you happen to score again, cool. But those teams aren't trying to do that. They're trying to score quick. They want to run up that score because they want to prove they belong. They're trying to have a fear factor the way the Chiefs are in every game. Everybody wants to pretend that the Chiefs aren't the Chiefs, yet we still get too high safeties, the two shell or whatever it is, shell coverage, too high safeties in the back because they don't want Mahomes to fucking burn him over the top, which he's going to do anyway, eventually. At some point, once Xavier Worthy gets comfortable and Kareem Hunt is that much more better, Juju Smith-Schuster is that much more comfortable and better, you will see absolute destruction. But we'll get to that later. These other teams, I'm not impressed, man. I'm not impressed that you're putting up 50 points against a Saints team without their starting quarterback, some backup who fucking sucks, against the Cowboys who just completely fucking suck. Like, big fucking deal. I'm not impressed. We don't got to make statements. The NFL is already afraid of the Chiefs when Patrick Mahomes gets on the field. That's a given. It's why teams play us the way they play us. It's why they make stupid decisions. It's why they go for it on fourth down in their own territory, because they do not want that ball in the hands of Patrick Mahomes, plain and simple. And they know it doesn't matter who's playing with him, who's on his side. They know it doesn't matter. So tell me again, with that kind of fear, how the fucking Detroit Lions, the Baltimore Ravens, who we beat, the Vikings, whoever the fuck else you can think of, you tell me how they're the most dangerous team in the NFL and not these guys sitting behind me right here, right? Bunch of bullshit. But that's all right. We're going to remember that. We're going to put a pin on that. We're going to remember that at the end of the season, just like we did last year. And we're going to see and show these fools who the real top dogs are and the most dangerous team in the league. Moving on. Let's see. What do we got? Let me check my notes here. Let's go on to the next segment. Wasn't sure if I wanted to go into this, but you know what? It's part of the NFL. It's a big story. We were talking about the Lions. I was bagging on them. But goddamn, did you see the Aiden Hutchinson broken leg injury? If you didn't, hate to do it, but roll the tape. Damn, that looked like it hurt. Isn't that nasty? Just see it dangling like a limp noodle. Bro, like, how do you break your leg like that? Like, it was such a weird, he whips it across. The only other time I've seen injuries like that is during an MMA fight. Because that's like the way the momentum of the leg and the calf, like shin muscle or shin bone, hitting against the other guy's shin bone, that velocity, that whip, is that of like a Muay Thai fighter when they're doing like leg kicks. And a lot of times, you see a leg break like that in a Muay Thai fight or an MMA fight when the opponent is checking the leg kick. You know, they raise up their knee or their foot, and so it's shin on shin, and it's whose shin is stronger. And sometimes, man, the other guy's leg just snaps in half. It happened to one of the greatest of all time, Anderson Silva. Shout out to the Spider. It happened to, funny enough, or ironically enough, it happened to the guy that he was fighting against like a year later. Almost the exact same injury. Anderson Silva was fighting a guy named, he was a wrestler. His name was, let me look it up. There we go. His name was Chris Weidman. That's right. Really good wrestler. And this was when Anderson was, again, he was up there in age, but he was still kind of in his peak. He was definitely on probably the downturn of his career, but he hadn't like aged out yet. I don't think. He was still powerful. He was still good. And there was the second fight, I believe, which is really sad because Chris Weidman had knocked him out in their first fight because Anderson, being Anderson, I think at that point he was bored in his career, beating everybody. Little too much showboating, kind of was trying to do his spider thing where he would like bob and weave and like do all these weird like head movements that would come with his hands down, mind you, and put him out of position. And when he was younger, it would work in his favor. He got a little too cute, a little too careless, and Chris Weidman caught him, clipped him in the chin, knocked him down, finished him with punches on the ground. TKO. They rematch, and I'm thinking Anderson's going to fucking wreck him. And early into the fight, Anderson throws a leg kick to Chris Weidman. Chris checks it, and Anderson's foot goes yoink like that, just like Aiden Hutchinson's little noodle leg went like that after it got broke, and it was disgusting. I mean, you see it go like that. If you've never seen it, let's look at it now.
Watch this. He checks it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Wow. That's about as obvious as it gets. And as I told you, John Danaher, oh my God.
My goodness.
John
Absolutely brutal, folks. Isn't that disgusting? And then, ironically enough, as I was saying earlier, about a year or so later, stupid light, Chris Weidman has a fight against a totally different opponent, and the exact same thing happens to him. And I don't think he's been back in the octagon ever since. I think that ended his career. I could be wrong about that, but I don't remember seeing him after the leg break. And the same exact way, he throws a standard Muay Thai, like MMA leg kick to the shin leg, and his opponent checks the leg, and same thing, just snaps, looks like a limp noodle, just disgusting. Let's take a look at that one.
Joe, where did it land?
Oh my God.
Joe, where did it land? Joe, where did it land?
Right below the knee. Right below the knee. And it immediately snaps in half.
his leg.
Come on, take a look at it here. Look at this.
I'm not going to look, Joe. Just tell me.
It mirrored what happened with him and Anderson.
Oh, God.
All right, now that you've all lost your lunches after these horrible leg injuries, and just broken legs, it's fucked up. I know it's horrible, but damn. All you can do is just say damn, right? In all seriousness, I hope Aiden heals up and gets and has a full recovery and can play just as good. I mean, we saw what happened to Alex Smith a few years ago. Way more near and dear to our hearts because Alex Smith is a legend when it comes to these guys. Aiden Hudson, I mean, again, I feel bad for the guy. That's just like football in general. But do I really give a rat's ass? Not really. He plays for the Lions. I don't care. So as a human being, sure, I hope he gets better. And I hope he's back at 100% and plays the best football he can play. But it doesn't affect my team, so I don't give a shit. So, moving on. But that was bad. We'll see how the Lions can step up from that. I know he's not like a huge weapon for them, but he is a big part of their defense, and we'll see if that affects their team at all or not. Or, let's see if they have a little bit of that championship swagger the way your Kansas City Chiefs do and can get the next man up and not lose a beat. We shall see. All right. Moving on to the next segment here. Let's get into Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco. All right. So, I wanted to have an in-depth discussion on when Isaiah Pacheco comes back and why this team is going to have the best running back duo in the league. Now, if P. Ryan steps up or you know what, CH has been activated this week. Let's say he comes back and he's fully ready. A lot of people are wondering what's going to happen with CH, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, once Isaiah Pacheco comes back and once, obviously, Kareem Hunt is playing the way he's playing. I think it's a no-brainer. If he's activated this week or plays next week during the Niners game, he's going to be the clear number 2. It's going to be Kareem Hunt, CH, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. When Isaiah Pacheco comes back, it's going to be Isaiah Pacheco, your number 1, Kareem Hunt, your number 2, or your 1B, and then CEH and everyone else. P. Ryan, Shut Up Thing, and Carson Steele leading the rear there. But let's go with the top three-headed monster. Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt and CEH as your third running back. That's going to be one hell of a tandem. Is it a tandem? Trio, sorry. One hell of a trio. And honestly, I think it'll be the best in the league. You're going to have 2 legit starting running backs and a solid number 2 as your number 3. Bro. And your 4th and 5th guy are solid number 3s? Come on. Best running back room in football. But let's talk about why, right? Why is Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco really going to be that hard to deal with? What's going to make them special? And I know I keep saying Kareem Hunt first because that's my guy, man. He was my favorite running back when he was a rookie. I was so excited about him. I'm so happy that he's back. I hope not only after this three-peat, but I hope he has such stellar numbers that they offer his ass a long-term contract with Isaiah Pacheco, and we're just rolling with those two. Let's just go with those two, man. I don't say pay him, make him the highest paid, but give him a decent contract. Let's keep his ass around. I think he'll take it. I think he doesn't want to go anywhere else. I think he wants to finish his career with the Chiefs. So let's get into it. Isaiah Pacheco, and I touched on this in the last video, is a downhill runner. He looks for contact. He runs like he's angry at the ground. He wants you to hit him. And teams know that about him now. And they don't like it. They're like, damn it, the Chiefs have an identity where they just want to punch you in the mouth. And those teams don't want to deal with that, right? So they're used over the last couple of seasons, they got used to Isaiah Pacheco running that way. When they play the Chiefs, they know they're going to be worn down on the run game. He's going to keep hammering them and hammering them and hammering them. He's not even a big guy, but he loves to hit. He loves to run at the tackle. So imagine you're preparing for that. You got the Chiefs, you're like, Isaiah Pacheco's coming to town, okay? Every time he's on the field, when we think it's a run, we're going to load the box. We're going to put our big men up there. We're going to put our big guys to stop Isaiah. We need to shut him down. We need our bigger linebackers. So they go big. The defense goes big. Guess what's going to happen? As soon as Andy Reid and company see that, and they're going to do it on purpose, they're going to bait them to putting out their big men. Guess what's going to happen? Very next play, sliding Kareem Hunt. All of a sudden, you got a guy who's just as shifty, but probably a little faster. It doesn't mind contact, but he's not going to go looking for it. He's going to juke you out of your fucking boots. He's going to make the first and second guy miss and get those extra yards. So now you got a running back who not only doesn't look for contact, but avoids contact, slips out of contact, is faster than you, is shiftier than you, is more agile than you. And now you got these big lumbering guys totally can't keep up, and Kareem Hunt is breaking 15-yard, 20-yard runs. So now the defense is like, shit, they switched up on us. Put the fast ones in. Put the faster, skinnier linebackers. We need to stop Kareem Hunt. They switch it back up. They put it Isaiah, and Pac fucking runs over those little-ass linebackers, the skinnier defensive linemen, the faster one that they're trying to put in to stop Kareem Hunt. Like, it's going to be a guessing game every time. You got those two on the field. Then what's going to happen if they have packages where they're both on the field at the same time? You line up one as a fullback and the other as your running back. And then what? Sorry, I'm having lighting issues with this fucking tablet. So, that's going to be interesting as hell to watch. It's going to be fun for us. Let me just turn this off. We'll deal with these lights. We'll deal with the lights we have here because this thing is being stupid. It keeps going in and out. I don't know why. So I'll try to get you as much light as I can. But so yeah, it's going to be a hell of a thing to watch. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be hilarious to watch teams try to deal with that duo. Like every time you think you got one pinned down, here comes the other. Then you're going to have the third down short yardage situation. And they're going to slide in Pirine. And then, now they're like, geez, we can't even stop them on third and short because we always sucked at that, right? That was one of our weaknesses and Achilles' heel was third and short. We couldn't get those 2 yards, 1 yard if our life depended on it. Pirine seems to be that guy. He's that third down back. So, can't wait for us to see that. You know what? Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at a couple of Isaiah Pacheco highlights and some CEH highlights, Kareem Hunt highlights, just so we can see the contrast between the two and how our team's going to defend it. Let's take a look.
Let they go. It's the catch, tight rope. Put on the active roster this week. Ball on here. Nice cut to the outside. Good. Unearned first down. Right away,
So again, just a thing of beauty. I mean, pick your poison, man. What are you going to do? What are you going to do when, you know, that's what you got to deal with on a regular? You know, you look left, you get hit with the right. You look right, you get hit with the left. And then here comes P-Ride up the gut for the uppercut knockout punch. Good luck with that, folks. All right, let's move on to the next segment. And let's take a look at, actually, let me just check my notes. All right, now I remember, sorry. Let's take a look at the state of the AFC as a whole across and kind of the rest of the league, or at least the rest of the conference, and what our so-called competition is going to be. And I mean, I probably won't go through all of the AFC because obviously all the AFC doesn't matter. But we'll look at the big guys. We'll take a look at the Ravens, the Bengals, the Bills. I guess we could take a look at the Miami Dolphins. Well, no, actually, no. Fuck them. I forget. They still don't got Tua, right? Fuck them. They're out. We'll take a little bit of a look at the Chargers, I guess. I mean, I saw like what 2 of their wins are against the Raiders and the Broncos. Not impressed. So, well, let's take a look. Let me take a look real quick at these records. We'll talk about it. We'll kind of look at who their opponents have been, and we'll go from there. All right, guys. I did like a whole segment. I didn't know. I realized I wasn't recording. I got some kind of glitch there. Either way. All right. So we're looking at the Chiefs, Texans, Ravens, Bills, and Steelers. Right. Obviously, your Chiefs are on top, staying undefeated. Your Texans, well, not your Texans. They're Texans, right? Not ours. The Texans are 5-1 after this weekend. So just as many wins as the Chiefs, but they got that one loss on their record. And that's only as of this week. I think I guess they were 4-1, and then they went 5-1 after this weekend. Beyond that, your Ravens, Steelers, and Bills, in no particular order, are all sitting at 4-2. So again, I ain't sweating any of those teams. CJ Stroud, I forgot about them. I didn't mention them in the other segment, but shout out to them. They're looking good. They looked good last year. He did a hell of a job as a rookie. They're doing, probably a little bit better even this year. But again, don't sweat them. I'm sure you'll win a playoff game and then you'll lose in the divisional round, just like you did last year. If not the wild card or first round. I mean, I don't know if they're going to win their division or not. I don't know who else is in their division. I don't pay attention to that shit division. Then you got the Bills. Again, don't sweat them. Josh Allen. Let's see how well your little 4-2 last as the season progresses. Josh Allen doing Josh Allen things, which is lose. And we already beat the Ravens. We beat them in the post. And so again, I mean, to me, out of that group, the Texans will be. I wouldn't doubt that we see the Texans in the AFC Championship. I really wouldn't. I mean, if CJ Stroud is who they say he is and improves this year, they might make it all the way to the Arrowhead Invitational and then get stomped out by Kansas City. Yes, I did an LA Knight reference there for you wrestling fans. I guess I forgot to put the yeah on the end, right? Kansas City, yeah, there you go. Shout out to LA Knight. I like him. I like he's a good. He grew on me. I didn't like him when he first came out, but he grew on me. Yes, I'm a wrestling fan. Fuck off. All right. I'm not sweating. Then the rest of the AFC, who gives a shit? The Browns, the fucking Dolphins. Who else sucks? That's on the AFC. Obviously, the Chargers, the Broncos. Who gives a shit? The Raiders. Who gives a shit? Yeah, I mean, so. Yeah, everybody's all like, again, it's like I laugh that these people just, in a week, forget the Chiefs just because we're on a bye as if we're still not the team, right? Give me a goddamn break. So, again, wouldn't be surprised if it's the Texans in the AFC because I don't see the Ravens I mean, not that they won't. Like they're going to be the favorite, but I could see them slipping on a banana peel and choking in the postseason like they do, losing to the Texans, and then it's the Texans versus the Chiefs. Chiefs whoop that ass, go to the Super Bowl as usual, as fate has decided, as destiny has decided. All right, let's move on to the next segment. All right, so let's wrap up with this last little segment here. We'll touch on some news updates and kind of how I feel the Chiefs are going to move forward. We'll talk like wide receiver wise and all that. So really quick, some updates and some news. Shout out to how about those Chiefs and Cole over there? Great channel. As you guys, some of you know, some of my favorite YouTube channels, RGR Football, another great one. Shout out to my homie, the Brit Chief, who, if you guys don't know, I actually did one of my first episodes with. It was like episode number 2. He appeared on my podcast. Go check it out. If you haven't checked it out, I'll put the link down below to that episode. I had a nice little conversation with the Brit Chief, the man who coined the phrase Legion of Zoom. Okay? We were supposed to get 2.0 this year, and we got gypped out of that, but that's all right. But shout out to the Brit Chief. He has another great channel. He's doing great things. So he's, moved on up, doing analyst stuff, man. It's crazy. Doing work with, I believe, Arrowhead Pride and those guys. So shout out to him. Shout out to RGR Football. You want professional done stuff like to the T with analytics and play breakdowns and all that stuff, man, go to RGR Football. They're just phenomenal channel. I can't do what they do. Mine's a little more goofy, a little more shit talking, a little more fan based than what they do. Kind of how I say the shit that they want to say but can't because they're trying to keep it professional, folks. And I believe they have a little bit more kid friendly show. Mine is made for the adults. I got that 14 to 29 demographic or whatever you want to call it. Maybe 12, I don't know. Depends on your upbringing. All right. Well, yeah, so quick update. Like Cole was talking about in one of his recent videos, we got some kind of bad news, worse news on piece of crap on Rashee Rice. And it turns out that he had to have PCL and LCL surgery and cleanup, which means that the recovery time will definitely be almost that of a complete ACL surgery repair type stuff, which means it's going to linger not only past the regular season, past the postseason, but maybe even into the preseason, training camp, etc., into next year. Hopefully it doesn't, but that's the potential because they had to go back in there and do some cleanup. If you want further details, go check out How About Those Chiefs and Cole's channel. His recent video, he gets into detail about it. But yeah, an unfortunate update with Rashee Rice. Probably going to be out longer than we thought, maybe even a little bit into next season. And they also said that he may not, this is what a doctor said, that when he does come back, he may not come back fully 100% the way he was. He may never play and be the exact same player that he was prior to that injury. So, but the thing is, doctors always give you the most bullshit, like worst case scenario, and then players come back like better than ever. So I don't put a lot of stock into that. Doctors always say that shit. They have to give you the worst case. And we see athletes defy that all the time. So I'm just hoping that it doesn't linger into the preseason, into next year, into training camp, because then that's going to suck, right? They're just going to have a slow start and a slow build. We've seen it happen with other players who have horrible injuries like that. It takes them like a whole nother season to kind of get back to where they were. So hopefully we don't see that with Rashee Rice. But on the flip side to that, that may be why they re-signed Hollywood Brown. Because Rashid Rice is going to be coming off of an injury because he's probably going to be suspended next year again, or not again, but for the first time. So that may be the incentive to 100% bring back Hollywood Brown. You got my thumbs up. So there's that quick update. CEH, as I kind of mentioned a little bit before, was back in the building. Andy Reid said that he will be back tomorrow, which technically is today. It is now Tuesday morning for me here in California, in Los Angeles. So it's Tuesday in Kansas City. And that CH was going to be back in the building, whether or not they activate him to the 53-man roster, or they make the decision to keep him on the NFI list or injured reserve for the entire season. But they got to make that decision by the end of this week, I believe. Most likely they're going to activate him, and he will be probably suited up for the San Francisco Niners game as our backup number 2 running back. So shout out to CH. Hopefully, if he comes back, glad to have you back, homie. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. And I believe we had another injury. Who was it? Mike Dana. Mike Dana popped up on the injured list recently. I believe he tweaked a hamstring or something. Again, go to Cole if you want the details. I just know it was Mike Dana kind of popped up on the injured list. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Hopefully he plays. He's one of our best run stoppers. But yeah, so those are some quick updates on our Chiefs, injuries, and the like. Now let's get into what I believe the Chiefs are going to do moving forward. If they're going to pull the trigger on a free agent wide receiver, as you guys have seen in the other videos, I believe it'll be Amari Cooper. He's the best prospect that you're looking at for the price. He's not even $1 million for the year. And he's a quality wide receiver. He's a veteran. He'll be able to pick up the offense. He'll have solid hands, reliable pass catcher. Why wouldn't you go sign him for $700,000 a year for the year? It's a no-brainer. So if they decide to go that route, the other option is they completely stay at where they're at and they just bring up Justin Ross. And I'm hoping they go that route because I really want to see what he can do if he's given the proper, shut up, stupid thing, if he's given the proper opportunities. Oh, sorry for that little interruption there, folks. Rolling into a customer. Someone else I forgot to shout out, another great channel, Shaggy Shane. Love Shaggy Shane. He's hilarious. Shaggy Shane and there's the other. What's the other dude's name? Oh, Jesus Christ. Hang on. Big Chief Sean. That's the other one. Again, another fan page, right? I try to shout out all the Chiefs fan pages that I know. He's a little bit smaller, kind of like me, but he's been doing it longer. And he has the same situation. He'll be on and off because, we all got busy lives. But I'm trying to stay more consistent with you guys. I love talking Chiefs, and it's just a matter of finding the time and the place and starting to kind of get my groove back and figure out how I can kind of squeeze this shit in. So, I'm a truck driver. I think I should know that at this point. But for those of you, if you're new, I drive big rigs. I'm a day cab driver, so I'm home every night. Like I'm local. I'm a local driver for a trucking company. And but I drive a 53-foot trailer. I'm literally driving that bitch right now. And so I'm working anywhere from 60 to 70 hours a week. And back when I started this channel, I was still a driver, but I just had a little bit more time. And I was also pretty much killing myself. I was wrecking myself. I was getting maybe 5 hours of sleep a night because I was trying to do the channel. I was running like 3 podcasts at the time, producing a friend's podcast, producing all of my own content, and with 3 different shows. Like I was doing my music podcast, I was doing this podcast, I was trying to do a gaming and entertainment show that you see on the list there. I have one episode of that, and it was fun. I was doing it because I just wanted to do it. I just didn't have a lot of time, and I was sleeping maybe 5-6 hours a night. And after doing that for a few months, I had to tap out. I'm like, um, and and like anything else, life hits you. And it's like, oh, I'll get back to it, and then I didn't get back to it. So this time with the historic three-peat and the run to the three-peat, I told myself I got to be a part of this. I got to get on the ball. I got to release some content because I bugged the shit out of my friends. Shout out to Dan. Shout out to Anna. Shout out to Chris. I bugged the shit out of them about my Chiefs. And shout out to Anna and Chris specifically because they're new Chiefs fans. They used to be Bears fans. Chris was a whole new NFL fan. They're a little couple, one of those little kind of couples. And pretty gross. Just kidding. Whatever. I'm just fucking with you. But he was a new football fan. We got him into football. At the time, my best friend Anna because she lives in Chicago, she was a Bears fan. She just got tired of the stink. She got tired of the shit. Okay? She got tired of them sucking ass. We don't care that Caleb Williams is there. So she gave up on them last year after a long time of misery. And she just got tired of rooting for losers. So I told her, I opened up the gates of the kingdom. And I said, come on down. We got plenty of room. You'll go from a shit-losing franchise to a 3-time Super Bowl winning title champions. So that's where we're at. And I bugged the shit out of them on a daily about our Chiefs. And so much so I'm like, I would go into almost podcast mode in just standard conversation talking about the Chiefs. I probably could make entire podcast episodes if I just clipped the audio memos that I sent them on rants that I would do, and they could attest to this. So, but shout out to all of the homies, all of the other content creators on Chiefs. We do it because we love it, and I would try to stay as consistent as I can. And but let me wrap up this segment real quick. Again, like I think the Chiefs, I like. There's some talk about they're worried about our offense and the struggles. And I told you guys what I thought about why that was happening on a couple of videos ago, if not the last one. And the fact that it's impressive that we're still undefeated, given the fact that when we started in the preseason, Mahomes took Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, Rashee Rice, met them outside of training camp, took them to Texas before minicamp, before any kind of camp, to get acclimated, to really hone in his skills and the offensive firepower that we were going to have. And within a week before the regular season, or a couple of weeks, week one of preseason, my bad, Hollywood Brown out like that. There goes a huge weapon in your arsenal. First week, second week into the season, Isaiah Pacheco goes down. No more running back. Goddamn. We had already lost our number 2 running back. Clyde Edwards-Helaire before the season even started. He didn't even suit up. He was already on the NFI list. A week later after that, Rashee Rice. So within the 3-4 weeks of the season, Mahomes and the Chiefs have to retool, revamp, and relook at their entire offense that they were preparing for the whole training camp, the whole preseason. Not an easy thing to do. Most teams crumble and fail and lose. We didn't. We stepped up. We persevered. And we are still undefeated. Where we do have a weakness that I see that is a problem that I think they should address more so than a wide receiver is that left tackle position. Is it left tackle? Or is it right tackle? No, it's left tackle. It's on the blind side. Right? Yeah. Left tackle position. It's horrible. Kingsley Suamataia and Wanye, even though Wanye's our starter, he's kind of stabilized it a bit, but he still has one of the worst grades at that position in the NFL. So Mahomes having to not be able to set his feet, not being able to have time in the pocket, go through his reads, and he's having to leave sooner than he wants to. He still makes it work, but it's not ideal. It's why he can't operate the way he wants. Now, I talked about how we can help out. You start chipping. You throw in more tight ends. You bring in Noah Gray, even though Travis Kelce's on the field, but you don't use Noah as in a pass catching situation. You leave him out there to block. You bring out Kareem Hunt and CEH if he plays. Later on, Isaiah. Have them out there and have them chip and block for Mahomes as an extra blocker and give Wanye some help on that side so Mahomes does have time. And then you feed Xavier Worthy. You feed Juju, McCole Hardman. Hopefully, Justin Ross. And then we got Justin Watson out there as a reliable fucking receiver. Obviously, Travis Kelce, right? So I think we'll be fine there. They're going to find their groove. We're really going to find out in a week against the Niners how well they've used this time in the bye week. But if they're going to do anything significant in free agency, before the deadline, trade deadline, I'm saying go get a quality left tackle, whatever's out there, if there's someone out there. I don't know if there is. But if there is someone you can bring in for help, go do that. I'd rather have them go do that than fucking, wide receiver. But if they go out and get Amari Cooper, I'm not going to be mad at it either. So that's where we're at. Let me take a look at the notes real quick, but I think we're going to wrap up. We'll be right back, folks. All right, folks, that about wraps up today's episode. I'll see you guys next time. And whether it's Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. Smith, the Texans, the Ravens, the Bills, the Steelers, it don't matter. We're still going to whoop your ass. We're still going to get our respect, even if we got to beat it out of you. And you want to know why? Because when it comes to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs,
he'll get handled when he gets handled.